haven't even announced this yet. This is going to be announced soon, but we'll announce it live on the Forward Thinking podcast. We just picked up as a coach, a senior business coach for Painter Growth, a legend of the painting industry.
I'd rather have a $10 million business that's doing $2 million profit compared to a $100 million business that's doing $2 million profit, right?
Their business is not growing, not because they don't work hard enough, because they definitely work hard enough. They're just typically working on the wrong things and working in a reactive state instead of being proactive. So when you over-report your income, that means you pay more taxes. So he actually saved him, I think it was like $12,000 in taxes that he was gonna pay because of a bookkeeping error.
What's the one for like Painter Growth? Like what's like that most insane transformation, that most insane case study that you took someone from X to Y? Like walk me through that.
It sounds like bragging, but like there's just so many. Just trying to...
What's going on, guys? Lucas Jensen here, back with the Forward Thinking podcast. Today I got the one, the only Mr. Mike Gore-Hickman with Painter Growth. Mike, dude, you got the stash growing out, headed into Movember, so you're getting the head start on that. Dude, how you doing, man?
What's up, man? Good to be here, Lucas. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, guys, if you don't know Mike, he is the CEO of Painter Growth. Dude, they scaled like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of painters, but more so, Mike actually owned his own business back in the day, and they were doing about $200K per month. And if I'm not mistaken, you were probably in your 20s doing that, early 20s, right?
Yeah. So by the time I was 23, we were hitting about 200K a month, and that was like 10 years ago now. So, 12 years ago actually. So I was inflation adjusted. That's almost 300K a month right now. But I would say even more. Like we've helped so many painters just far surpass the numbers that I was able to do back then, just with all of the learning and the 8,000 plus coaching calls that we've done over the last 3.5, 4 years. It's been, we've been able to get people a lot better results than I had even at that time. So that's where I started, but we're beyond that now.
Yeah, I love that, man. So when did you transition fully into coaching?
So this kind of took a roundabout path to get here. So, in my first painting business, I met a girl in my third year of painting, and we dated for like 6 months, and then she got moved out of state for work. And me being a love drunk 23-year-old, I shut down my business at the end of summer production and followed her. And it turned out to be best decision ever. We're still married. We just had our 10-year wedding anniversary in August. We have 2 beautiful daughters. My 6-year-old just started school last week, grade 1, which was really fun. But shut down my business, moved 5 hours away to be with her, and started up a second painting company. The second painting company focused on commercial. I just got started like 6 months in, got some big, box store contracts. I was doing like a Bye Bye Baby and some hospital work and stuff like that. And I got a call from a previous friend of mine who asked me to get involved in their software startup. So I was like still early enough in my painting business. I was like, I wasn't fully committed, so I shut down my business again for the second time in 1 year and took the switch over to software. And so during this experience, I got to learn what an online company actually was made of, what reporting structure was like, what software people used, how to actually, create value and culture in an online business. And I worked for a really, really great leader for about 5-6 years. And then it was during COVID that I decided I wanted something bigger for myself. As always an entrepreneur, I knew I had more value to provide than working for someone else. So kind of put 2 and 2 together, my knowledge of online space with my knowledge and love for painting and for helping people. And through a few iterations, we landed on Painter Growth, which we launched in October 2021.
I love it, dude. I love it. And if I'm not mistaken, you had a different name that you originally launched and then hit with the rebrand with Painter Growth, right?
Yeah, it was the Painter Growth Blueprint. I did some like agency stuff. It was like Painter Growth Blueprint, and then that transitioned into paintergrowth.com. Luckily got the domain. And now we're kind of like distancing ourselves from like Blueprint, and it's more just like executive coaching by Painter Growth. We have the up to $1 million path, and then the $1 million to $5 million path, depending on where contractors are, because different business sizes have different challenges. And we have an incredible lineup of coaches, and I haven't even announced this yet. This is going to be announced soon, but we'll announce it live on the Forward Thinking podcast. We just picked up, as a coach, a senior business coach for Painter Growth, a legend of the painting industry. He is one of the co-founders of CertaPro Painting that
Wow.
he founded in 1991. He scaled that to 50 locations, sold his stake in the mid 90s, started up another company called Protect Painting, scaled that to 100 franchises, sold it to Neighborly, who owns Five Star and got an amalgamated Five Star. And now he is coaching for us.
Holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. That's insane.
Yeah. So really excited to bring on Wayne, absolute legend. And he's started with us on Monday. So
Dude, I love that. Man,
yeah.
that's something I also love about you is like your business has built for painters from essentially originally a painter, right? And then you just kind of implement all these systems, developed, optimized, but more so you've kind of carried that on with you and all the coaches that you have helping your clients. They actually previously ran like 7, 8 figure businesses, right?
Yeah, every coach that we've had has, every coach that we have has ran a seven-figure plus painting business and home service business, and many of them have exited for multi seven-figure exits. So if people are just starting thinking about their startup, or they're thinking about like what does an exit look like? How can I exit? What we have coaches who have not only just talked and learned about it, but actually gone through the legal process of exiting a business. So, depending on where people are, what their goals are, we just like match them with the right coach who has lived the experience that they're trying to do, pair that with our Painter Growth operating system, and
Dude,
easy as
that is
that.
so cool. That is so cool, man. So walk me through like a typical roadmap. Like a client, say someone on this podcast like really, really loves this and loves what they're hearing and they want painter growth to help them develop. Like what does that whole kind of transition from like non-painter growth client to like scaling 7-figure,
Yeah.
8-figure, 9-figure plus painter? You know what I mean?
I love this question. I don't know if I've ever been asked that question before, but love it. So, the first thing is most people come to us and they're overwhelmed with their business. Like, I'm too busy. I'm onboarding a sales rep. I'm transitioning this employee. I have too many jobs. I don't have enough jobs. Like, they're overwhelmed in some form or another. And typically, they're too busy. They're working too hard. And every single entrepreneur that I've ever talked to, every painting contractor, every business owner, their business is not growing not because they don't work hard enough, because they definitely work hard enough. They're just typically working on the wrong things and working in a reactive state instead of being proactive. They're letting their business dictate what they do instead of them dictating what their business does and what they do for their business. So they're being
Mm,
reactive. So the very first thing that we do after we do an analysis of where they are in their business and everything is we do a time audit, and we help them, and we help them with priority management and time management. So whether it's Google calendars and time blocking, or using Pomodoro timer, or saying no to more things, teaching them how to respond when a painter is calling them and asking them a question or putting out a fire. Basically, just like understanding the holistic view of what sucks their time and helping them understand what they should be doing instead. What are the key things that require you, and what should you not be doing? So it's like we call it the D sheet. What can you do? What should you do? What should you delegate? And what should you drop? And out of those, we have a decision matrix, and basically most contractors save about 15 to 20 hours per week of time
wow.
just being as effective, but just doing way less that they don't need to be doing.
Wow.
Right? Like, oh, do I need to be on site every morning delivering paint, or could I pay one of my painters 15 bucks an hour to go pick up the paint? It's like, and then in that 15 bucks, I could be going through training videos, or I could be working on my marketing strategy, or I could do another estimate, or I could be with my kids for an hour.
Right.
Right? So that's the first thing, is like understanding what you're doing with your time, and then getting you in control of your life. From there, once that takes a week or two, like it's pretty quick for most people. From there, it's going to be either we got to figure out the constraints. So we believe in the theory of constraints, and every business has at least one constraint, like one thing holding you back. Is it sales? Is it marketing? Is it leads? Is it organization? Is it And then even under those, there's sub metrics. Like if it's marketing, is it cost per lead? Is it number of leads? Is it you don't have enough channels, or the lead quality is too bad, or your lead to estimate conversion rate is too bad? So there's like a lot of sub metrics. So we help you understand your constraints one at a time, and then of course install the different the different what would you call them, like frameworks into your business, like your lead tracker and your CRM and your priority management schedule, and there's just like production plan. We have like so many systems that we just want
Right.
to make sure
Right.
you're implementing, because so often people are just running as hard as they can, or using legacy systems that they're just using for no reason other than the fact that It's what they have or what they stitch together, right? Like you have no idea how many painters I've talked to who just say, I don't know how much money I made last month.
Which is just insane, right? Like you should know that. You know what I mean? It's like if you're running a business and you're doing say $100,000 a month, but you're, just basically unsure of how much of that's actual profit or any of that, right? It's like pushing with a blindfold on. Like you're pushing, but like, is it in the right direction? Are things moving? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
dude, knowing your numbers, I know is a huge, huge component. I know that you have something actually for that as well, right?
Yeah. So I mean, over the last several years, we've been really focused on helping painting contractors like get their time back and grow their revenue. And when you really think about why we're in business, I mean, all of us, every single person is in business because they want to make money.
Yeah.
It depends what you want to do with that money. Do you want to do it to do something amazing for the community, or do you want to do it so that you can buy a yacht one day? It doesn't matter what you want to do. You're in a profit creating enterprise, and if your business isn't set up to make profit, then you're doing yourself, your family, your community, your business, your employees a disservice if you don't know how to make profit. I had a conversation with a client just a couple of days ago. I was like, what's your profit goal? And she's like, I don't have a profit goal. Instead of that, I want to get I want to get a building, and I want to have an office, and I want to have the whole team, and I want to have like a community center like kind of thing, and I want to help other people. And I'm like, okay, like that's an awesome thing that you want to do, but without profit, you can't do that.
Right.
It's like, let's run the numbers. How much profit do we need to have a production manager, to have a sales rep, to have an admin, to have have an office space? Like, what's that rent cost? What kind of overhead you need profit to do these things? So even if you don't want to be a greedy person, and I don't think being a business owner is greedy at all. I mean, it depends what you do with it, but you need to have profit to do cool shit. Right? So that's why we always start with a profit first business plan. What profit do you need, and what's the business that you need to create to build you to give you that amount of profit? Because if it doesn't make sense on paper, if you can't make it work on paper, you'll never make it work in real life.
Right.
And
Makes
so
sense.
we actually started just earlier this year I don't want to call it bookkeeping because I think that does a disservice to what it is, but it's an AI bookkeeping service with an incredible financial dashboard. It's like your command center. So we built a software that shows you exactly how much money you're making, what your expenses were, what your revenue was, and all of the different categories, what percentage of your income, what every expense line was. You can drill into it. You got PDF reports, video reports, and a chat bot trained on your business and your finances. So you can just type into the chat bot, learn about your business without having to like wait for your bookkeeper who has really no idea. And we call this Iron Books. So you can check it out, ironbooks.com. And I hired a professional accountant to run it and a developer to build it. And it's just, we're saving people so much money and giving them so much insight into their finances. Because without insight into your finances, even if you have a bookkeeper, it's just like not what you need. It's not enough. This is why we do it. We need to spend more time, more energy focused on the money that we're making and not just on the customers that we're serving.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, look, if you're building this business, like I'd rather have a, $10 million business that's doing 2 million profit compared to $100 million business that's doing 2 million profit. Right. So it's like focusing on the profit and implementing that first is good, but that all starts with, the systems like you were mentioning of like kind of doing this whole analysis of like, what's the current bottleneck, finding the different levers to kind of lift that constraint, and then maximizing like, where are you spending your time, right? Because time is one of those things that's like, it does not replenish, right? Money replenishes, time does not. And if you're focusing on things that are not moving the needle forward and you're just staying busy rather than being productive, it's just wasting your time bank is just going down and down and down and down and down. And it's like if you're, man, to do quick math, right? If you're making $240,000 a month, right? That's like 40K. Wait, no.
Here.
160,000 a month, that's 40K a week, right? If you're working 40 hours in your business, your technical time is roughly $1,000, right? If you're spending your time doing something that's $15 an hour, right? It's like that opportunity cost is just so missed. You should be focused on much bigger things. And man, I know you have the kind of X-ray offer that you're telling me about, which I found is just insane, dude. And I absolutely love that. So can you tell me more about that?
Yeah. We had this like badass accountant who is an absolute killer. And essentially what we're offering is a profit x-ray call. And even people with bookkeepers we found just had terrible numbers, like absolute dog shit. So even if you have a bookkeeper, we can do a free deep dive in your business. And what we're doing is on average, we're finding about $25,000 of missing profit or miscategorized profit in businesses. That is saving contractors so much money. And so what we're doing is just like a 30, 45-minute profit x-ray call for free, even if you have a bookkeeper and if you have no intention on using us, where we will find you that money in your books. And if worst case scenario, give you some ammo to go back to your bookkeeper, but best case scenario, give you a ton of more money in your pocket. And if we don't find at least 25 grand, we'll give you $100 for wasting your time.
Dude, that's insane. So
Yeah.
you find 25 grand of basically money that they're missing out on. If you don't find that, you give them $100 just for trying anyways.
Yeah, so we had a client actually this morning. His name's Milan. He was telling me about this one client he did a profit X-ray on, and it was actually the opposite way. So his bookkeeper had over-reported his income. So when you over-report your income, that means you pay more taxes. So he actually saved him like I think it was like $12,000 in taxes that he was going to pay
Holy crap.
because of a bookkeeping error. It's real
Wow.
money.
Yeah. Yeah. That's insane, dude.
Hey, real quick, before we get back into the video, if you are running a painting, an epoxy, or a concrete coating business and you're saying to yourself right now, Lucas, I am done playing it small. Lucas, I am hungry and I'm ready to grow and I'm ready to scale my business this year, then listen up. If you want my team and I to help you fix that, if you want more qualified leads into your sales pipeline, if you want more high intent appointments into your sales calendar, and if you want more high ticket jobs, shoot me a quick text at 602-833-5079, and I will personally reach out and set up a game plan to help you turn your yearly revenue into your monthly revenue and help you dominate and scale your business right now. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. I appreciate you tuning in, and I look forward to helping you scale your business this year. Let's go.
And that could be off like, account receivables, right? Like if there's something that you can kind of, I know that happens sometime. That happened like last year when we were doing our books, was there was some money that was, not to get into this, I'm not a CPA, so like don't listen to me too much on this, but if there's something that's an account receivable that you're going to miss the collection on, if your bookkeeper or accountant files that, you technically have to pay tax on that, even though it's likely you're not going to receive that money,
They
right?
do
So
write
it's
it
like
off.
little things like that is just so impressive. So okay, sick, dude. So you do a full audit of their time, how they can buy back their time and focus on the things that move the needle. Then you look into the actual numbers, and then what happens next on the roadmap for someone that signs up with you?
We go into like an implementation phase where over the next several months, depending on what issue we're working through for your business, it's not just one thing at a time. Always working on leads, working on sales, working on team, working on time, working on finance, and you're gonna work with your coach one-on-one every week or every 2 weeks, depending on what plan you're on, and just making progress, checking in on the group calls, messaging me, coming to our events, and just making progress on your business and sharing wins with an awesome community. I know you got an awesome community too. We have a Slack group with a couple hundred just like killer painting business owners who are just all working together, sharing wins, asking questions, and we get together. We do in-person events, we do virtual events. Next year we're going to get into some more like smaller group retreats for some of the bigger businesses where we just get like 20 $1 to $3 million business owners in a group, go into like the woods in Idaho and do like a 2-day mastermind and bring in a chef and that kind of thing. So we're going to do
That's
more
so
of that
cool.
next year, which I'm stoked about because these are just trips I want to go on. So might as well use my business to help me go on the trips that I want to go on and bring some other people along too.
Yeah, no, I love that, man. I love that. So, dude, from like initial start date, typically how long does it take for, because I know you have some insane case studies, dude. Like you were just telling me, like one of the more recent clients we signed on was doing 5K a month on the tools, and now after a couple months, like he's doing like 70K plus off the tools. So it's like it's clear you have like insane structures and insane strategies that you provide your clients with. But like typically, what does that like timeline look like from like initial start to like scaling? You know what I mean?
I mean, everyone's a little bit different, but even like recently, I feel like that like so many owners that are coming in around that 20 to 30K per month are hitting 100, 150K per month, like within 3 to 6 months. We don't have like specifics. We probably should do like a meta study around it. But the problem with that is that it's so hard to get people to fill out forms. It's like, hey, fill out this survey. unless we put some like crazy incentive around it. So it's just really challenging to get that data. And even then, typically it'll trend towards our favor. Like just the people who have good experience will typically fill them out. So we just don't have that data. But I mean, we just had a client, Josh. He started with us last January, so like 20 months ago, and he was doing about 30K a month. This year he's going to do about 6 million.
6 million.
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude! Josh is a killer.
Yeah, so it's like from a
Wow,
300K business to 6 million in 20 months.
that's insane, dude.
Yeah.
That's insane. What's like? Is there
He'll be at
one case
Mastermind.
study
You'll
that?
meet him in a couple weeks. He'll be at Mastermind.
Oh, let's go, man! I'm excited. I'm
Yeah.
excited. Is there one specific case study like besides Josh? Because that's just insane. Like
Yeah.
300K to 6 million in 20 months, dude. Less than 2 years. Is there one specific case study that like, you have that like, it's like that baby, right? Like that everyone has that case study that's just like, like I love that. You know what I mean? Is there
Mhm.
what's the one for like painter growth? Like what's like that most insane transformation, that most insane case study that you took someone from X to Y, and like like walk me through that.
Oh man. It sounds like bragging, but like there's just so many. I'm just trying to think about like one specific client here. So if I just go into our main channel, if I can just like flip through to see, I mean, there's like short-term ones where people see a spike really quickly. There's long-term ones where people take 6 to 12 or sometimes even 18 months to hit their goal. One exciting one was is a gentleman named James, and I recently did a testimonial with him. I did a little video with him. I think it's on our Instagram. But he was like nothing. Like had been in business for 10 years, had like 10 to 12K a month on average, and just struggling. But he's a really smart guy, but just couldn't figure out the business growth or whatever. Came in, literally watched every single video, implemented super hard, and I don't know the exact timeline, but I think it was like 8 to 9 months or something like that.
Wow.
He was booking $100,000 a week
A
this summer.
week.
Yeah. So
Wow.
he was producing less than that, obviously, but he got to the point where he literally had a few $100,000 booking weeks. I think he got up to like 150, 180,000 a month within his first year, and just yeah, crushing it, loving life. We're working on some gross profit stuff right now, some estimating and whatnot, but like for the most part, it's like insane, changed his life.
I love that, man. Like, okay, so obviously, growing a business, you run into different levels, right? Like, scaling from 0 to 100,000, then 100,000 to 1 million, and then 1 to 3, like that kind of thing. Like, what are the different kind of sections, or like, if you're looking at it on a graph and you're able to like put an X on like the typical area where like maybe systems need to change,
Yeah.
right? Is like what would you kind of paint the picture as for that? Like, how much in revenue, like what kind of goes on there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that you asked this, and this wasn't even planned, but here I'm just gonna share my screen. So if anyone's just like listening video only or audio only, just like take a look at your phone real quick. Do you do video on Spotify? Do you like the Spotify video?
That is a great question. I'll need to check with our tech team on that. I believe
Anyway,
so. I believe
yeah,
so.
it's just a button. So hopefully, so we identified five main pathways or growth stages. They're the growth stages and the specific line items underneath it, the tasks you do are the pathways. But anyway, so the first is the startup. And this is like right when you're figuring out that you're an entrepreneur. You go from like 0 to 100K per year. This is not monthly, this is annual. So once you get to that 100K per year, that's like 10K a month, 8K per month, you now have revenue. You have money coming in that you can decide what to do with it. Now, 10K a month is like 5K net profit, or sorry, gross profit. So not a lot to deal with. You're just basically surviving, but you've shown that you can get some jobs. The next stage we call early stage, and this is 100K to 500K per year. Loosely defined by the revenue. It's more defined by what you're doing in your business and your role. So the early stage, 100 to 500K, is like the big transition here is you get off the tools and you have a crew of painters. Because once you can get to 500K, you have some marketing systems, you have some sales systems, you can reliably bring in jobs, and you're off the tools. Then you now have a business. You go from like a sole prop to a business, and now you're ready to enter the next stage, which is growth stage. And this is where most of our clients find us, is around that 500K per year, 500 to a million, and they want to get to that 2 million, 3 million plus. But we've had people join way earlier, and we've had people join already into the $2-3 million who want to get to 5 plus. But the big thing about growth stage is how it's defined is, do you have a management team in place? Basically, do you have a sale? Can you get a sales rep, a production manager, an admin, a coordinator, so that you can effectively be out of the day to day, and you can now work more on the business. Okay, so you're not making those day-to-day decisions. You're not checking in on jobs. You're not, maybe you're recruiting painters. Maybe you're, doing, your L10 or your leadership meeting, some weekly one-on-ones, things like that. But for the most part, you're not on site, right? You're the leader. You're the GM. You're the owner. Now, the next step is, and this is where I would say most businesses struggle, is getting out of here, because people don't like to let go of that amount of control.
Right.
And so that's one thing we help people, is giving themselves permission to let go of that control. Now, the next is maturity stage, and this is where business really starts to get fun, right? Once you hit 2 million-ish, I like 2 million instead of 1 million, because you can hustle your way to a million. You can even hustle your way to $1.5 million, 100K a month, 150K a month. But to get to 2 million, like consistently, and to consistently hit that like 160, 170K a month, with good profit margins, you need to have all of that growth stage structure. And then in order to get to 5 million, now we really need to put gasoline on your fire. So we need to get a GM. So we help you place a GM, where you get someone who can manage your entire business, who can do all the one-on-ones. You get to be in kind of the board seat, strategic advisor type role, where you're, maybe talking to your leaders every couple of weeks, but really you're pretty passive, right? And then you're at this stage, in order to scale, you can either do more, or you can do more, better, and then new. So do more of what you're doing, do it better, and then do new. So new as in like scale regionally, so new turfs, new territories, or scale horizontally with new services. Right? Notice I don't say scale vertically, because vertical scaling means like now you're supplying your paint, and that's not what we're about. But scaling horizontally is what other services. So maybe you go into cabinets, maybe you go into epoxy, maybe you go into roofing. So this is the stage to start scaling horizontally. And then enterprise stage is now your business is an asset. So if you can get to the 5 million plus, if you can get, close to $1 million EBITDA profit, then your business is truly worth something. You're going to get like a 8 to 10x return on, if you can exit at that $1 million EBITDA. And so now you are truly, I don't even want to say business owner, because you're a business owner well before this, but like, you have now a saleable asset,
Right.
that someone will
That makes
pay a
sense.
lot of money for, that can change your bloodline.
I love that, dude. I
So
love that. I love how
that's
you've
our
broken it
sales.
down just so like clearly, and kind of painted that picture. And I mean, you actually painted the picture here. So dude, it's so awesome, man. So you have different offers for different people at different levels, right? It's not always like a one size fits all, but people coming in, like I always say that whatever problem you're facing is not unique. You know what I mean? It might be different because you're dealing with Mario as the PM instead of Joe, right? But at the end of the day, it's an issue with the PM, and all these issues are just so across the board in so many different ways for clients, right? So, dude, I love how you've broken this down, man. So whether you're doing 0 to 100K or 5 million plus, you have some type of solution for people to help grow and get to that
Yeah,
next phase. So
every plan is custom. Everyone is different, and I think that's what some people get wrong, is that they think that they're going to come in and just be sat in front of a series of videos and asked to do the same motions, right? But that's couldn't be further from the truth. Everything is custom. That's why we're so paired with one-on-one coaching. You need that guidance and that support from someone who's done it, and then our frameworks and processes to just accelerate that.
yeah, I'm with you, dude. And you said that people kind of get stuck at like phase 3, which is the growth stage, right? Like the 500K to 2 million. Is there anything else besides like, letting go of the vines that people can do to get to that maturity stage?
Yeah, I mean, there's tons. It's not even just about letting go of the reins, but it's about doing it thoughtfully and properly, right? Like not delegating, not abdicating. This is a big definition that we identify. It's like, okay, yeah, the difference between delegating and abdicating. Like delegating is thoughtfully and mindfully passing a task off to someone, and when someone else takes that task, the result stays the same or gets better.
Right.
Right? Abdicating is like, all right, Lucas, you're in charge of the job sites now. Peace. And then just hoping that it gets better. So getting really good at delegating and coaching and leading is going to be what will take you from that growth stage to the maturity stage. But also setting up systems, having good partners, having a good agency partner is important to navigate that growth stage. Having other offline marketing channels, having door-to-door marketing and flyer campaigns and community stuff and commercial production going. Having a really good team, having really good team leads for each one of your crews, having a solid production manager that you trust, being very KPI focused and having scorecards and metrics for each employee that you actually look at and review. And then, of course, to bring full circle back to the start of our conversation, which is profit, making sure that the jobs that you're producing are on time and on budget and profitable, and you're getting at least 50% GP on all of your projects so that you have enough left over to fund your growth. Because growing
I
is
love it.
expensive, right? To grow, you need money. To hit $2 million, that's 160 a month, or 160 a month. You need to be spending at least 10K a month, typically on multiple forms of marketing and advertising. So it's a nut to pay, and if you don't have
Yeah,
good
dude.
profit margins, you're gonna break even, and it's not gonna be very fun.
Yeah. Yeah. All that stress just for a couple bucks, which, I know we all started this, like you said, for that freedom, all right? Whether that's through actual physical freedom of being able to do this and have a business running there, or family freedom, right? Of being able to give any experience you want to your family, or just the financial freedom, right? So there's so many different areas or reasons people start a business, but ultimately it's like profit. Profit's going to literally say, like, that's the bloodline of any business. So, dude, I love this, first of all. And next up, dude, I wanted to like pick your brain a little bit on the topic of the event that we're hitting together, right? So we're going to, the Pain and Growth Mastermind in October, which I'm so fired up. And dude, the topic is built to last, right? Walk me through that, man. Like, I know some people, like, the home service space is just booming right now. Like, with AI coming up, so is home service space, because people know that it's not really like a replaceable avenue.
Hey, real quick, before we get back into the video, if you are running a painting, an epoxy, or a concrete coating business, and you're saying to yourself right now, Lucas, I am done playing it small. Lucas, I am hungry and I'm ready to grow and I'm ready to scale my business this year, then listen up. If you want my team and I to help you fix that, if you want more qualified leads into your sales pipeline, if you want more high intent appointments into your sales calendar, and if you want more high ticket jobs, shoot me a quick text at 602-833-5079, and I will personally reach out and set up a game plan to help you turn your yearly revenue into your monthly revenue and help you dominate and scale your business right now. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. I appreciate you tuning in, and I look forward to helping you scale your business this year. Let's go.
How are you seeing the home service space change? So, like, how can someone implement that kind of built to last mindset or systems in their business so that it's not just like, 3 million one year down like 100K the next, but like it's actually like a steady growth? You know what I mean? I know it's never like consistently up, but it's going to be like a little roller coaster. And what that comes from is just like longevity, right? So how can people focus on the longevity of their business, on their people, on their revenue, things like that?
So yeah, the theme, like you said, for our mastermind coming up, first week of October in Scottsdale, is built to last. And initially we were going to theme it, like we're talking internally about all the different ways that we could theme it, and we're like, we have to talk about AI. Right? We have to talk. So we are talking about AI, but like we're going to theme it around AI. But then we decided that building a business on AI is not like a sustainable thing, and really why we're in business to help people build businesses for long term. And utilizing tools is valuable, but not basing your whole identity around it. So we decided to theme it built to last, and the logo for our mastermind is actually like the pyramids with a bull in front of it, which is pretty cool. And the pyramids have like withstood the test of time and everything.
Love
So we're approaching it from your business from like a holistic standpoint, and not just money focused, but can your business also be a vessel in which you can basically fulfill yourself personally and spiritually as well? I think that as there's the the logistical side of like, yes, your business needs to have great systems and great marketing, great sales, and great people in order to live long, to be sustainable. But can your business, while you are running your business, be that vessel that you get happiness and joy out of, right? Like, you know, that there's that term, or that saying, if you love what you do, you'll never work another day in your life, right? I
Yeah.
don't fully believe that, but like me, when I show up to work, I love what I do. I love my company. I love my team. I love grinding, right? And I love the chase. You know, the goalposts keep moving, and I love growing something, and I have fun doing it. Is it every day great? Absolutely not. But like on the whole, I get a lot of energy out of it. And I want all of our owners to get similar levels of fulfillment from their businesses. I think a lot of the times they don't, because in general, painting contractor business owners in general just get so caught in the weeds and missing the forest for the trees, and just grinding day to day without seeing what they're doing it for in the big picture. So this mastermind is really, I think, going to be transformational, because we are introducing and really hammering home on a lot of these like transformational topics that I think people are going to look at their businesses a lot differently after October 3rd. And
I love
we'll
it.
do some announcements publicly on what comes out of that mastermind. But it's gonna be pretty cool.
Dude, I'm so excited to attend that, man. I know you have such an awesome community. Like you talked about your Slack community and stuff like that, but dude, I am such like a in-person type of guy that I'm just so excited for like that energy exchange that I know we're gonna hit at your event with all your community and stuff like that. And dude, obviously you're coming to PaintCon too, which is just gonna be insane. But man,
I'm
there's
actually
obviously
really
like
excited
this.
for that. Sorry to cut you off, but having you at Mastermind and then going to PaintCon is gonna be awesome. I think that like this is my seventh Mastermind, and we've learned so much. And you did such an incredible job at your first PaintCon. I'm excited to see you kind of take a few of the tidbits that we've like refined and implement in PaintCon, and then see how you implement that, because I know you like implement quickly. So I'm really excited for that, selfishly.
I love it, dude. I love it, man. And dude, like the elephant in the room. It's like right now it's September, right? We're probably about 3 months away from that like notorious slow season, right? And part of like the built to last is getting over that hump, right? Obviously things always bounce back, right? No matter how bad the winter is, things will bounce back in the spring. But ultimately, we're trying to put our clients, you're trying to put your clients in the position of like, it's really not a slow season, right? So what are some things that you're implementing for your clients, for your community, to make sure people kind of like weather the slow season and actually have a successful slow season, right? Where
Yeah.
they're not just increasing revenue, but also picking up rock star team members and things like that. Like what are some things that you can give as like tidbits of advice to our listeners?
Love it. So it's broken down into a few different like phases depending on where you are in your business right now. But like the first thing is you want to get scientific about it. So really, like, what is your burn rate? What's your monthly overhead? And how much production do you need every month just to keep the lights on? To pay yourself a salary, reasonable salary, to pay your W-2 team, and to cover all of your rent, phone bills, overhead, things like that. So hopefully you have a budget, you look at your monthly budget, and what does that monthly not need to be that you need to produce? So this is going to be level one, just like level one sustainability. And then once you have that revenue number, divide that by your average job size, how many jobs you need. Divide that by your close rate, how many estimates you need. Divide that by your slippage, how many leads you need. And now you've all of a sudden created your marketing plan. So if you need 10 jobs a month and your close rate's 33%, so you need 30 leads a month, 30 estimates a month. And if your slippage is, let's just keep it easy, say 50%, you need 60 leads a month. All right, so do you have the marketing systems needed to get at least 60 leads? Okay, keep it in mind that marketing costs might be, 20 to 30% higher during the slow season. So that's number one, at least cover your bases. And then the second part of that is, how can I be greedy while others are fearful? Because the winter is when people usually take a step back and contract and like, oh, I'm going to take December off and I'm going to give my team 2 weeks off during the holidays. And like, okay, so you're going to not make money over the holidays? It's like, no, like, okay, let your team take holidays, like, but don't shut your company down. It's a silly idea. So you want to figure out what your like true goal is outside of that, level one sustainability, and then reverse engineer that plan, whether it's scaling up your Facebook ads, reliably with Ford or someone else, or doing it yourself, or it's like setting up some seasonal flyer campaigns and door-to-door campaigns, and really getting in with the builders and realtors and letting them know that you can do really quick turnarounds for their clients, and just continue to do more and being scientific about it, knowing your numbers, having your tracking, and not slowing down.
I love it, dude. I love it, man. And let me ask you one last question. I know there's probably going to be listeners doing 0 to that 100K, 500K to 2 mil, 5 mil plus. When you were running that 200K business, 200K per month business before you, chase the sweetheart. If you could go back and give yourself one single piece of advice, what would now Mike tell then Mike?
What would I tell 23-year-old Mike? Invest in NVIDIA.
Oh yeah.
Or Tesla. Let me see. So that's I got my business to a point at that time where out of necessity, where she had already moved and I wanted to leave half the summer and just go be with her. So I had production manager, sales rep. I was only working about 20 hours a week anyway, even though the business was crushing it. But I would say if you can hire some of these key roles before you're ready. And don't be afraid to ask for. I ended up getting lucky and getting some wonderful coaching early on, and that changed everything in my life. And I'm not even, it's not even being dramatic. It changed everything. Coaching absolutely changed everything for me. But make sure you have a coach. If it's me, or if it's Joel Mercado, or if it's Aiden, or if it's whoever, make sure you have a coach, and hire those roles before you need them. Whether there's your team lead, hire a team lead before a helper. That's first. Get that production manager next, or have your crew lead do your gopher, get your paint, stuff like that. Move ladders. Get out of your production vehicle as quickly as possible. Have your crew lead, have your production manager drive your truck or drive your van, so you don't have to be the one behind the windshield. And then and just pour into those managers, pour into those leaders, because that is going to be what will set you free, is people.
I love it, dude. I love it. Mike, dude, it's been such an awesome time having you on the podcast. I know we talked about a few different things, but dude, tell us how we can reach you, man. I know we have, you got the Painter Growth event. Do you still have tickets sold? We're going to probably be dropping this podcast tickets available. We're going to be dropping this podcast next week. If someone were to sign up, which we're going to be dropping the link to book a call with you on under this video. But if someone were to sign up, is there still capacity for them to come to this Painter Growth event in October?
Yeah, only if they're active owners with us. Yeah, so if you join our coaching, we can sneak you in. You might not get the full merch pack and whatnot, but we can definitely sneak you in. But the main thing, so there's two ways. One, if you want to send me an email, mike@paintergrowth.com, tell me your story. I'll see if I can help. And then two, if you're interested in that profit thing where you want let's find you 25K profit, go to ironbooks.com/xray, and you can book your free X-ray call there. It'll be 30 minutes. We'll find 25 grand for you.
Love that. And that's XRAY, right? Yep. It's not X-RAY?
It's XRAY, yep.
Love it, dude. Love it. So we're going to drop the links under this, whether you're watching on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, whatever. We're going to be dropping the links for those right below. And if you are interested in Painter Growth, which I highly, highly recommend, if you don't have a coach or you're just not where you want to be right now, definitely reach out to Mike and the Painter Growth team. I mean, they got some insane hires coming that, the ex-Certa Pro franchise owner, which is just insane, dude. So definitely reach out to Mike. Definitely get a coach. Definitely get the systems you need so that this slow season isn't slow for you, but you're actually scaling. And if you do it soon enough, then you'll be able to come to his event, which I'll be at, and so many awesome other speakers. So click that link below, sign up, and I'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you, man. Have a great one.